So let me set up the background. Stage of your startup business, pre-startup, startup and growth stage. Currently you are on the startup stage growth or growth stage company. You have done a proper serious homework on the opportunity, market size, customer, team, building technology, timelines, etc. You know what are your funding requirements as of now, and what are the milestones you want to achieve by using this money. What slice of pie you want to give away to the investor, what kind of equity or what kind of percentage you want to give away to the investors. You have successfully pitched angel investor, and you have been able to convince him to cut the first check. So assume that you have done required homework, you have reached your discussion with the investor up to that stage, and now both of you have mutually agreed that okay fine, we are ready to go ahead, and now investor is ready to issue a check, but before that he is going to give you a term sheet, right? You are not going to get check upfront, so he will give you a term sheet, right? And that term sheet, how exactly we are going to decode, that's what we are here for. So typically the statement what you hear from the investor is like this, that so from your end you would get that okay, we need some value, that is excess crore kind of funding which will have runaway of YY years or months, and we will give ZZ of equity. So this is what discussion you had with the investor, right? Well, excess is this value is the money what you are looking out for. This is the time frame, that is the runway, and this is the equity what you are ready to give away. And the offer statement from the investor comes to you in this fashion, that we feel that we are by investing 2.5 crore at pre-money valuation of 10 crores of your business can scale up and grow, and we take 20% of equity in the company. So this is what offer you have agreed upon with the investor. 2.5 crore rupees money, that is the funding value what you are taking back in your company at the valuation of 10 crore rupees, that is pre-money valuation, that is before investor puts in money, what is the valuation of your company he has arrived to, that value is 10 crores, and against this you are giving away 20% of equity. So before parting this equity with the investor, assume that there are two founder members, each of you are 50-50% party to the company. This is what is your, before you take money from investor, this is what is your present situation. Once the investor comes, you are giving away 20%, so both of you are left with 40% each. Fine, so deal done, and you are getting a term sheet from the investor. So this is what is the background. Now let's look at the term sheet, how it looks. So there was one question whether term sheets are negotiable or not. So it's a non-binding agreement which happens between promoters and investors, setting forth a target of basic terms and conditions under which the investment is going to be made. Right? This is non-binding. It's like, you know, when you are interviewing people, right, for placement in your company, and you issue offer letter. With that offer letter, he may come, he may not come back. Right? It's kind of offer letter what you are issuing. So similarly here, it's a non-binding agreement between promoters and investors. It highlights the high-level points which you have agreed upon, right? And based on this term sheet, your final shareholders agreement is going to be drafted. So what are high-level points which are listed over here in this term sheet, right? This high-level points will be reflected on your actual shareholders agreement. So that's what I mentioned. SHA is formalized bidding agreement governing the relationship among the promoters, investors, and the company. So, as I said, it's a kind of offer letter what you are getting from the investors, right? And you have certain timelines given across to you, maybe 30 days, 45 days, whatever, right? By which you have to complete the entire process of funding at initial stage, what are things are required, due diligence and so on, right? And then the final shareholders agreement is going to come to you.
So just to add across, what happens across from an investor perspective, right? When we offer a term sheet, idea here is non-binding, which means that if we find due diligence is a challenge, blah blah blah, will not invest into the company. More or less protects more from an investor side. But whenever both the parties sign across, right, there is a clause within the term sheet saying that you will not solicit deals while this term sheet is inactive, which means that term sheet has a period which is of whatever, 2 weeks, 5 weeks, depending upon what was the agreement. In that period, in case if you are getting any offer from other investors, you need to disclose. All this are legally binding. Because you have signed something, you have to adhere to those term sheet. So disclosures are mandatory from the entrepreneur side. But as far as you can reject the offer of saying that, I don't want to sign the SHA, nobody is going to force you. But if you get any offer or you go out and solicit deals when the term sheet is in vogue, then legally you are violating the terms. While people would not challenge, investor has got right to challenge the entrepreneur. So I've seen across in 2015, 2014, where markets were really hot. People used to take a term sheet and go out shop with other investors trying to find deals, and there have been tough situations happening across in those perspectives. So idea is, if let's say I'll give you a solution also. If you get a term sheet which is a better term sheet and you have signed one, don't go to your investor saying that I will not accept. Idea is lie low, don't sign the SHA, let term sheet expire, and then second you can sign across, right? So that's a smarter way of going out and saying that investor, you are not flouting any legal rule, an investor will not get after you. So that's how you can manage it.
So there's a validity, don't take support.
Sorry, every term sheet has a validity, so let it get expired.
What if you actually refuse the offer? What if you refuse the term sheet?
Idea is you have already accepted the term sheet, you have signed it, which means you are accepting the offer. So idea is now let that period pass, right? Whatever that 2 weeks, 5 weeks is the best way to engage. Because here what you are telling in term sheet saying that I am accepting this offer.
So basically you are accepting the offer, right? And the due diligence process starts, and during the due diligence process, right, if there are any issues or any challenges which investor feels that this is going to be really tough to take the investment cycle to the next level, right? Investor has rights to discontinue that particular transaction.
So even reading the term sheet is important. While it is a non-binding, reading term sheet itself is important before you reach to the SHA level.
But sometimes when the term sheet is signed, a check is also given. So
Sorry?
check is also issued at some of the time when you sign the term sheet.
No check.
What check?
No one will issue checks.
You've seen something.
I doubt any investor who is doing regular deals will do that. Anybody who is doing first time possibly can do those mistakes. Because then that money does not qualify for any
Legal.
shareholder agreement terms. Yeah, go
Usually
ahead.
is the due diligence and the non-binding one-sided, or it is on both sides?
You are not going to due diligence investor. He is putting in money.
So investor is putting in money, investor is going to perform due diligence on your company, on promoters.
So one by one.
Yeah.
But is the non-binding also one way?
1 second. Let me just.
Legal paper, is it? It's never on a legal paper. It can be.
It is not on a legal paper, but you have signed across an agreement saying that you will honor that MOU which is saying that I am accepting this offer, and in that there is a line which mentions across saying that if you get any other alternate offer, you are supposed to do a disclosure to the investor saying that you got this offer. You are not supposed to go out and solicit other offer. That is also mentioned.
Does it mean it is legally binding on the company and not on the investor until the valid term sheet?
For that particular clause.
Okay.
For that particular. Secondly, this is not a binding agreement, which means you have to accept the money, because it's not a shareholder agreement. But for that period, you have to honor that term that you will not go out and solicit. Right? So I gave you an, escape route, right? Saying that you take the offer, wait for the term sheet to expire, then take that second offer. So that's the smarter way of going, or going to the investor and saying that I got an alternate term sheet. You might do that if you think you have got a bargaining chip with you, right? Saying that can you better your offer.
But in this case, if I am not soliciting any new investor, but some other investor is approaching me,
then also you have to disclose.
Disclosing it to the existing with whom I am
Right. You can disclose, and if he is okay with it, he will up the offer, he will say, no, let's close this. You don't sign, it's your prerogative, but that period, you should not be signing anything else.
So can I say that term sheet is almost parallel to a sale deal?
It's not a sale.
It's not a sale.
It's not an agreement.
Like a pre-sale agreement.
It's just an MOU.
It's an MOU, it's just an MOU, and only for this particular, 45 days or whatever, few weeks closed, where as a promoter you have to bind yourself that you are not going to take that offer sheet with somebody, some other investor, and say that, okay, fine, I've got this offer, do you have any better deal? Vice versa, in case if investor comes and says that I've got a better deal, right? And then in that case, you have to go back to your existing investor who has given you offer, saying that, okay, this is what offer I have received from so-and-so investor. And if he is ready to match up with that offer, it's good for you.
But tell me, just logically, in the unlikely event of aircraft landing or whatever, if the investor is caught up in an income tax case, something that's not good for my company's reputation, what rights do I then have to say?
Just wait for that thing to expire. That's all.
Okay.
That's all. There is nothing to walk away.
So typically,
Even investor will walk away in the same manner.
Okay.
see, so when term sheet is coming to you, probably this kind of situation is known to you before signing term sheet.
So it happens immediately.
Yeah,
Right? Even if it happens immediately, you wait for that 45 days or 30 days period, and then